Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Lirik from Elena H. I I I think we've done some tangles maybe from Elena before, and I don't remember how I tried to pronounce the last name, but I'm sure I'm not going to get it right. So apologies. But Elena, we're going to take a look at your tangle today. All right. So this one starts off with basically lines of orbs. It's kind of a grid, kind of. So well, I'm gonna start in the middle because I do like to do that. And I'll do 3 rows. You could do as many as you want. This could be a nice fill in, and it could be also a border if you just did 2 rows. Up to you, but we'll do 3 so that way you can kind of see it as a fill in. I'm gonna try to. Oh, let's see how many can I fit. And you want to separate them a little bit. 4, 5, 6. I think I can get 8. Yes, that's what I was doing. Well, on my step out, I know I had 6, and then I managed to get 8 in. So then I was working to be consistent. 2, 3. All right, and we'll flip this. My attempt is to have them evenly separated, but distracted myself and lost count. Okay. This one, I think you can have a lot of fun with. I'm going to use the takeoff and land concept. When I was looking closely at Elena's, it looks like she kind of did that as well. Although when I do that, my lines get kind of just a little bit curvy because it's like we're making S's through this. And I think it ends up looking neat. You could, if you want to, still do the takeoff and land, but make these straight. So I'm just going to start. Let's make sure that you can see. Let's move. I should have made sure before, but this is the more important part, right? Okay. Hold my pen up a little bit higher. Okay, so takeoff and land is simply, gosh, you know what? It seems like I don't know how many I've been doing takeoff and land. So, but if this is the first time that you're watching, that's why I'm going to explain it. It's basically tracing over. So I'm going to trace over a little bit of this orb, which is I'm taking off. I still think of it this way as like slingshotting off of a planet because I like to watch Trekkie stuff. And so anyway, so now I'm going to say it, slingshotting off of this one, and then we're going to land down here. So we're taking off here, and then we're going to land, and then the landing procedure is similar to the takeoff procedure, which is to just trace over a little bit. It's better than, and I'm going to do this, and like so. And see, so I end up with a little bit of a curve. What you could, do, and everybody has their own, how they write, how they draw. I mean, if it ended up being straight, that looks more like what Elena has in her step out. And that link to that is in the description. So what we're going to do is kind of going 2 by 2. The first one, I'm making an, let's see. Nope, that'd be a proper S, right? Not backwards. An S shape. So I'm going like diagonal. As you can see, we're making X's. And then we're going to continue this path all the way across. And this gives a nice practice for doing the takeoff and land. I am aiming to cross in the middle. Sometimes it's just not happening because I wasn't thinking about it. So sometimes just thinking and going slow is nice. But also know there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. So also don't worry about it. Okay. Then what she has is to alternate. So I'm going to shift one over and rinse and repeat, essentially. Same thing. And it just makes, a nice alteration. Now I'm going to, I didn't try it doing it straight down, and of course my brain goes, well, I wonder what it would look like that way. Well, maybe I'll try it at some point, but it is kind of nice having have to kind of look to see where you're aiming for. It really does help. As I was like going, whoop, wait a minute, slow down. Where are we headed? And then don't go too crazy with that. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend like I have maybe a little border here, and I'm just going to whoop as if, I was continuing on. I'll do that over here too. I'm leaving this little space around. All right. The next step that she has is to essentially aura the inside of these spaces. I'm going to dare say this is the play part. You can do a lot of different things, but we'll go ahead and do this so that way you can see what it looks like. And if you don't know what auraing means, it is exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm outlining the contour. So I'm looking at this space and I'm making, one line, kind of making, kind of whimsical diamonds from that. And then like this one, we could just do a half one. Again, making an imaginary border around the outside here. Same thing here. And then we can do this down below. And I'm just making these open. What you'll want to do, though, it shows coloring them in. And that'll look really neat. What I'm going to do is grab my graphic 1 pen because it is so nice for coloring in. Now, there are other things that you could do as well. And on my step out, I added, and maybe I'll take a minute and I'll do what I did on my step out. But I could have just done the whole thing in this, couldn't I? Yes, I could have. Silly. A lot of times I don't because, as you can see, like right here, I just did that, I went over that line and it doesn't make that fine tip, but I can go back with the 01 afterwards and put a point on it. But it is so very nice for filling in. Now, in Elena's step out, she also did one with kind of like starting with the spiral. I didn't play with that mostly because whoops, left one open. It looked like that would have to be one step. So I could see doing a little spiral in here. So if you make these orbs bigger and do a spiral and then do it, hers kind of looked open, like as if it would do the spiral and then come down, and just like, no, this is just me. Do take a look, and if you want to play with that, go ahead. For me, I might play with it, and let me straighten some of this out here. But what I would do with that is, again, doing a spiral instead of an orb maybe, and going from there. Now, if you were sloppy with your orbs, as I apparently am with mine, feel free. I'm just thickening mine. Actually, you know what I could do? If you happen to have thicker pens, this is an 05. Actually, this is a Tombow one, and it's just because I have it handy. And I'm going to go over all of them. And then you can kind of make them more uniform, neaten them up a little bit. If I would just go slower on my orbs, they would be so much nicer. But a lot of times when I do the takeoff and land, sometimes that just makes it a little messy. But this is a great course correction. Just go over it. Or if there's another section, that you didn't care for, take a look. Can you fill it in? Or, there's always options. All right. Yeah, because sometimes it just gets out of control. And it's a lesson for me. Go slower. You can take a look at my step out. What I ended up doing was I decided I'm going to leave this one kind of just like it is because it's kind of nice this way. But I aura'd in this section, and then I drew some straight lines. There's a lot of things that you can do to decorate. It's up to your imagination to do them. And even in these diamonds in the center here, you don't necessarily have to fill them if you don't want to. You could just, do straight lines are nice. You could do a host of things. And again, it's one of those, up to you how you want to play with it. I think that is nice because it's nice contrast. Oh gosh, how did I get a little bit blurry? Let me fix really quick. It's a little better. I don't know. It's just kind of nice to have that kind of a contrast with in a tangle, and it'd be a really nice fill in. The other thing that I like about it is it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay to not be perfect. Sometimes too, when you're doing something like this on the inside, you can shape these so it somewhat disguises, the other things going on. You can make them a little bit neater. And I think it takes your eyeballs there, and then you're not paying attention. I'll accept it unless it gets really wonky like that one, but that's okay. It's all right. If you're doing this in a big thing, you're not going to notice. Now, shading. Actually, that's what I wanted to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try something with shading on here. Let's do this. So instead of drawing in these sections, it struck me as I was doing that. It's like, ooh, let's add some shading. And I am, like, as you can see, I'm going on the outside. And, well, I'll tell you something else. If you're into, there's so many that, are into doing, gems or dewdrops. I'm like, oh, this is just screaming for that. But I decided to make mine thicker and not so big. Although, it probably could, shade them and then add a little, as I like to call it, swoosh mark. Let's see, I'm going to do these ones coming up. Oh, I guess I put a little too much, but it's okay. I think I had some some graphite left on. Oh, but know what? That looks neat. Looking in the camera here. Let's try it this way. Sometimes shading in little spaces. I'm kind of doing my just pushing instead of a wide circle, because the tip of this has been squished in a bit, and just doing a pushing motion spreads the graphite out enough where doing a circle might bring it out too much. That's why I'm starting it this way, because I want to leave a little bit of natural tile color in the middle there. And let's see. Oh, that looks neat. That looks neat. But you can have a lot of fun with this one, even decorating like around this the diamond. Seeing it now this way, I don't see the X's if I'm focused on these diamonds, but you could have fun decorating those. Again, the orbs could be gemified and look really neat. But yeah, cute tangle. I mean, it's a nice fill in. Again, I sometimes I like to have things like this that that have some filled in color, because it's nice to have that contrast. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share the video with your friends that like to tangle, and if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you be a subscriber. Also, noting in the description section underneath this, links to step outs are ways to connect with me. If you enjoyed what I do, if you enjoy my style, I do both free and paid classes. I do a weekly class, which is free, and then I have one or two once a month that are a paid class, and then I have an additional one that is free. So there's a lot of classes. We have a lot of fun. We have a great community on Facebook, that has developed over these last couple of years, and just really supportive, really fun. I'm so thankful for everyone that is on the Facebook group, and it was just kind of carried over into Instagram as we all share our our connections and things like that. So anyway, I hope you join us sometime, and be fun to tangle with you. And with that, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.